right, on behalf of Safe Schools South Florida, I want to welcome you to being here tonight at our Say No to Don't Say Gay rally. Thank you for being here. I hope you're a little bit angry tonight because the legislation that's being proposed, the ones that we're here to fight tonight, are rolling back the clock. I see a lot of familiar faces out here tonight, and a lot of you have been fighting for LGBTQ rights for literally decades, the 1970s, the 80s, the 90s. And here we are in the year 2022, and we're looking at the clock being rolled back to places where it was when John F. Kennedy was in the White House. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a stand. We're going to hear from a lot of people tonight, all of them important, but the most important voices you're going to hear today are the students and the parents of the students who are going to be directly affected by the draconian bills that would roll back schools' ability to talk to kids about LGBTQ issues. So our first speaker tonight is going to be Lana Goff. Lana is, I don't even know if she's junior, senior. She's a student, junior. She's junior, she's right here. And Lana is from Fort Lauderdale High School, which is right down the street here. So please, Lana, come on and say hi.
All right, yes.
I'm a junior in Fort Lauderdale High School. I'm with Julian's Youth Foundation. And I'm here to talk to you guys about, obviously, the Don't Say Gay bill. The way this affects me as a youth, it is very important because we are the future. We are the ones going to school. It's not all the other people making the bills. It's none of them. It's us. It's not them. It is us that is being affected. One of my personal experiences at school is I had a situation with a girlfriend at the time, and one of the first things that the administration said to me when I was confronting them about it is, are we allowed to tell your mom, and are you out? And from that point on, I trusted the school completely. From that point, that is what I came to them for. Like, I knew I could trust them and that they were going to be there to support me. And after all that, like, I still have experiences and I still go to them. Now, if we pass this law and make this real, I'm not going to be able to feel safe going up to the administration and saying these things, and then people are just going to get away with everything that they're doing. The many situations, this had been passed just even a couple weeks ago. I wouldn't have been able to feel comfortable going up to many situations that have happened to me and friends of mine. So this is affecting us. This isn't affecting the parents, and it should not be a part of the parents. This is our world. This is our life. We are fighting for the opportunity to go to school and feel safe and feel protected. That is the main goal of school, to have a safe environment to learn and to feel protected. And if we're going to school thinking, they're going to out me, we're not going to want to go to school. We're not going to want to learn because we're going to have the fear of being outed. We're not going to go to administration and talk to them about these things out of fear. And so that's why this bill affects me and all my friends and all the people that go to Fort Lauderdale High School and all the students, because we don't have a safe space to go to school if this bill passes. I have so many friends that if the bill passes and they got outed, the consequences of them being outed would be way worse than just merely saying gay in school. This would affect them in such tremendous ways that are not even imaginable with just expressing yourself at school. And thank you.
Yes! Yes! Whoa!
You know, all of you are here tonight because you're friends of Safe Schools South Florida and our mission, but we have some other friends in other places who are going to check in. So please turn your eyes really quick to the video monitors and our friend Amara La Negra.
Hi, Safe Schools. It's your girl, Amara La Negra. You may know me from Love and Hip Hop Miami. Listen, with all this happening around COVID-19, I want to tell you guys that you are important to me, and I'm here to support you, and I stand by your side. Just know that I've lived through a lot of tough experiences in life that have made me stronger. It may be a struggle, but all of us are stronger than we realize. Safe Schools South Florida has worked for decades to create a safe space for the LGBT youth. Their work is needed now more than ever. Be sure to like and follow them on all their social media platforms. You don't want to miss on any of their upcoming online programs.
Awesome. Thank you, Amara. Tonight would not have been possible without the help of the City of Wilton Manors. They obviously, with the Pride Center, made space available. The Pride Center, hey, thanks to you guys. And one person who played this whole event, by the way, this whole event came together in less than a week. So one of the persons who played the most critical role is an openly gay city commissioner from here in Wilton Manors, Chris Caputo. Chris, come on up.
So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's so exciting to see such a crowd. On behalf of our Mayor, Scott Newton, and Vice Mayor Paul Rowley, who are here, I want to welcome you to the Pride Center at Equality Park. I had the great honor of serving as the board chair here for the Pride Center, and the reason it meant so much to me was their mission is so important. It's to provide a safe and inclusive environment for our LGBTQ community and their allies throughout South Florida. It's a place that people could come together to celebrate the happy moments in life and talk through the struggles and the difficulty. It's an absolutely needed safe space. Schools are supposed to be a safe space. That's not just physical, but that's emotional as well. I'll tell just a quick story. I was with my niece, who's in the 5th grade, over the holidays. And when I walked in the door, she pulled me and said, "Uncle Chris, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story." She said to me, "Chris, someone in school, my friend in school, is non-binary. They prefer they and them." I thought, well, all right, this is pretty cool. So she can see I'm excited because she realizes she's connecting to me. And then she goes on to say, "And I have another friend whose big sister is bisexual. That means she likes boys and girls." I don't know where this is going, but she takes me there. She goes, "Don't worry, I just like boys." And you know, I think it's really awesome because it shows in 5th grade and intelligent conversations that students need to express themselves. They can understand and learn from one another. You know, students like my niece, and actually the youth we hear broadcasting here with Happening Out, they give me optimism that the next generation of lawmakers is more empathetic, more understanding, and smarter than those behind this bill. Again, I just want to thank everyone for being here. Safe Schools, you know, it's such a great turnout, and I'm excited that we're going to do this work together and get this bill stopped.
Thank you, Commissioner Caputo. Our next, obviously it's the teachers, it's the students. Those are the people that are going to be most affected. We are now expecting to have the microphone. I hope she's in the audience as I introduce her. From the Broward County School Board, Debbie Hickson. Commissioner Hickson, are you here? Hey, thank goodness.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I'm shorter than everyone else. I just wanted to come out today to show my support. As we've heard a number of times already this afternoon, school is supposed to be a safe place. It is supposed to be a place where we don't pass judgment, but we give our students the place to feel that they belong, that they are welcome, and that we are going to take care of them so that they can learn. They don't need to be worried about anything else. That we need to make sure that we give them a space where they feel that they can learn and be successful. And this bill does not do that. So I do not support the bill. I'm behind you. I'm going to continue to work, speak out with legislators to ask them not to support the bill either, because it doesn't support our students. So I hope that we are able to work together to get this stopped, and anything that I can do to help, I am here to do that. So thank you again so much.
Whoa! Nice.
Next, we have people from all across the spectrum here tonight to speak with us. The Florida Commissioner of Agriculture has an LGBTQ consumer advocate. He is here with us tonight, so please welcome, put your hands together for Nathan Broomer.
Good evening, my name is Nathan Broomer. I use he, him pronouns. I am your LGBTQ consumer advocate, yes, for Commissioner Nikki Fried. Welcome to this beautiful display of democracy.
Yes.
And I don't know we're seeing the displays as we would expect in Tallahassee right now. And also welcome to what I hope is a beautiful display of our amazing history all month long, celebrating Black History Month today. I think we need to take special note of what today begins. Tallahassee does have some champions. While the numbers don't look to be on our side right now, we have to invest in the folks that are there representing us 365 days a year. And I'm proud of what Commissioner Fried has done. I can't believe how out of touch the state legislature is. Our department, when she came into office, added diversity as a core value. Added this very position, and South Florida's very own Nick Harris, who will be up here speaking in a moment, was the first LGBTQ consumer advocate. We know, as a state agency, as an employer, as someone who works for you all, that we must reflect you all. And the idea that we have come so far from that understanding is a challenge. When the Florida Department of Education took down its resources to stop bullying, Commissioner Fried tasked me with figuring out how to put it back up. And we did. If you need resources as a consumer, go to floridaconsumerhelp.com and scroll down and look for the pride flags, because they're there. They've never been on a state website. Know your resources. Know your champions. Be a part of the process and engage. And some of these fights are going to be tough, but we're not making it easy. And I love what we see today. Dude, it's okay to say gay. And we've got to start saying it loud and proud. It's okay to say trans. It's okay to say non-binary. It's okay to say queer. It's okay to say bi. It's okay to say pan. It's okay to say ace. It's okay to talk about who we are in the state of Florida and to know our history. This one is especially tough for me because I'm born and raised in Florida. I was a student in Florida. I was outed and not supported by a school in Florida, in a district in Florida, that 10 years later I returned to teach in, and I was outed again and not supported. And that was a very pivotal moment for me because it was time for me to step into my own and to transition and to live my life as a proud and out transgender man. We must come together as a community. I remember the struggles, right? But I found resources, and I have to reflect on the reality of the damage for our young people, for our students, for our employees, for the humans who don't find help and resources, what the damage is that this political discourse does. And we have to be louder, and we have to get in their way every step of the way. And whether we win or lose each of these fights, we will be back, and we will be louder and a stronger community day after day, and we will hold our elected officials accountable. And when it comes down to it, we will remember at each election, big or small, we will vote.
Yeah!
Thank you so much for everything you all are doing. And if you ever want to come to Tallahassee, you do have champions and friends there. Look me up. Let me know.
Thank you. People? Yeah.
You know, I work for Safe Schools South Florida. It's an absolutely fantastic organization. If you don't know our work, please follow us on social media. Our handle across all platforms is at Safe Schools 1991. In fact, there's about to be some information posted on our social media momentarily at Safe Schools 1991. 91. We also do a youth-hosted television show on YouTube, and our lead host, Eddie Mora, wants to give us a video greeting. So here's Eddie.
Hey everyone, my name is Eddie and I'm a volunteer for Safe Schools South Florida. Safe Schools has been working since 1991 to create safer schools where all students can learn and succeed, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression, of their own or that of their parents or guardians.
If it weren't for the students, we wouldn't be here. You see the TV cameras that are set up behind me. Earlier tonight, Queer News Tonight, and if you don't know them, you really need to find them. Queer News Tonight, which is a local LGBT current event show, they had a student takeover. So I would like to now invite some of those students who were on television a little bit earlier tonight. Student television hosts, come on over.
Nice to see you all here. I'm CJ Walden, the Vice President of PRISM. I'm a 17-year-old and I've decided to be a board member of a nonprofit organization to make a difference. I think that what we are doing here tonight is extremely important because this bill, if it passes, would make me feel uncomfortable, would make the thousands of people that go to my high school feel uncomfortable, and would just create so much more racism and discrimination and even lead to even more sexism in our community, and we certainly don't need any of that. I think that these ideas are just outdated thoughts of the past and we need to move forward. We need to make it extremely clear to our representatives that if this bill passes, that we will outvote them later this year and in future elections. Take action, email your representatives, and make it clear that it is not okay to pass this law. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hello everyone, I'm Brianna Turner. I'm a student that goes to McFadder, and I'm really scared about this Don't Say Gay bill as someone moving into the world and trying to forge my own path. Kids not knowing if something is okay is a really scary thing, and that could really shape how people like socialize with each other when they grow up as adults. And I've faced discrimination when being hired and looking for jobs and such, and it's only going to continue if this bill passes and if this bill spreads around the country like a plague. And I think that we have to stop it, and we have to show everyone, show the politicians that we mean business and that we can fix this and we can fix the people trying to hold us down. Thank you.
Hello, I'm the president of PRISM FL Inc. It's the same on the same board as CJ who just spoke, right before Brianna. I think that this is, as an organization, the leader of a youth organization that specifically focuses on LGBT education, we see that there are so many different facets that young people get their education, but one of the most direct ways is through our schools. And to be able to see something like this happening, an attack on that representation in these schools, is absolutely horrendous. It's shameful, and just to elaborate on everything that everyone before us has said. This is important. This is real. It might make us uncomfortable. The inaction of this bill would make us uncomfortable. And the point of this is to make sure that people who have already been in power don't have to feel the discomfort that we've always felt, right? Talking about racism, that's uncomfortable. Talking about sexism, talking about homophobia, those are uncomfortable topics to talk about. We don't like thinking about that, especially as people who experience it. But people who are the oppressors, people who do, the people who put that into action, people who force that onto us, they feel uncomfortable having to acknowledge that. And it's the consequences of your own actions. If you don't want to talk about it, well, it's too late. It already happened, and we have to make that known. Make it known that these things have happened, that we're here, that we're still standing after everything that we fought for, and really show just how strong we are. So, thank you.
All right, we got more students. Come on up, guys.
Hi, for those of you that don't know, I'm Evan Almanzar, and I am one of the, I guess you could say, co-facilitators of SunServe's youth group, and I'm Oliver. We're both Youth Leadership Council members of SunServe. I've been with SunServe now for 3.5 years. They've basically watched me grow up as a person. They've been with me throughout my entire transition. They're the reason why I was able to start testosterone. They're the reason why I was able to come out to my parents and my father and my grandparents. And I think the bill is like crazy. I grew up around gay grandparents. My grandmas are lesbians. My mothers are lesbians. My sisters are lesbians. My mom's godmother is a lesbian. They're all lesbians. The thought of them saying no to any of them, even if I was to bring up my mother, what are they gonna say? Don't come to open house? Like, they can't just turn us away at the door. They're not bouncers. They can't do that to us. We are people just as much as they are people, and our history matters as much as our people matter. Our children matter. We are the future. They don't get to seed in these things that they're planting. That is our future. Our kids will go into that program. And why would they ever want to do that? If anyone has forgotten the smiles that were on the people's faces as soon as gay marriage was legalized, search it up on your phone at any time. The smiles on those people's faces were immeasurable. You cannot replace that pure joy of knowing that you are free in a country to finally love who you want to love.
Yes.
So I know personally for me, my school is not as open to queer people as, let's say, Fort Lauderdale, because it is in a much safer area as Wilton is. And I think it's really, for me at least, SunServe has been really important for me to go there to my group once a week and see other queer people and understand their experiences and share those experiences with them, because SunServe has helped me grow the last 2 years that I've been there. And I think with this bill, it's just another way for them to silence us. And we have been silent for so long that it's time to change, because so many people that came before us, so many people that have hurt before us, it is our duty to seek more change, because we can't let them go for nothing. Thank you.
We got some future politicians coming up here, future holders of office. Speaking of some politicians and holders of office, Mayor Dean Trentalis was here a little bit earlier, but they had a city commission meeting, so he sat in on the TV show. We've got other electeds I'll introduce you in just a moment. I do want to make sure I introduce my bosses, the board of directors for Safe Schools South Florida. They're fabulous people. I just can't say enough. I'm blessed to be able to work with them. Our chairperson, Tom, is here somewhere. Tom, you guys can see better than I can. Friend, there's Tom. Tom, did you want to say something? You're up here by the microphone. I don't know. Tom, coming out.
I'm going to get emotional because I was a teacher for 39 years. 39 years I taught in school, and only the last 9 years could I teach as an open gay teacher. And why did I teach openly? Finally, I got over the fear, because my students deserve to have role models of, well, responsible gay people. Yeah, if you know me, you know that's funny. But that's why this is so important. I want every student, gay, straight, lesbian, trans, to be safe. And this is what I say right now. This side of the place, we say nay. Nay. So don't say yay. Yay. We say nay. So don't say gay. You got it? We say nay. Don't say gay. We say nay. Don't say gay. Blessings upon all of you.
Woo! Thank you, Tom, and to other Safe Schools Board of Directors members, Francesca, Mark, Liz, Frank, CJ, Joe. Thank you for all of you that you've done in this last week to make this event happen. We need friends from across the paradigm to come and help us with these types of events to fight this Don't Say Gay law. I'd now like to welcome a member of our faith community to the microphone, Reverend Darrell Watkins, who's the Executive Senior Pastor at Sunshine Cathedral.
Thank you very much. I am here tonight with my husband, Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin. I hope that people can always say that, my gay pastors, when they're talking in their schools after this, we'll see. We at Sunshine Cathedral, well, let me tell you this. I need to tell you this first, because I know you see, this is a political rally, you see someone at a collar, and I feel butts clenching all throughout the yard already. And I get it, because I know that religion has been misused to hurt people. It just has. Yeah. And we at Sunshine Cathedral are committed to being a different kind of church, a church that recognizes the sacred value of all people, a church that seeks to heal rather than to hurt. And that's why we partner with Bold Justice and with the Global Justice Institute. That's why we house youth programs operated by SunServe. That's why we are home to the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida and to the queer broadcasting company Happening Out Television, which is broadcasting this tonight. In fact, we have partnerships with over 20 service organizations, most of them gay, all of them gay friendly. And I tell you that so that you understand the passion with which I speak tonight. Sunshine Cathedral is a justice-seeking, queer celebrating, not queer tolerating, but queer celebrating church. And as the leader of such a church, I'm here to say that legislation that seeks to silence LGBTQ history and erase LGBTQ students is damaging and demeaning. Gay and bisexual, chime in when you want to. Gay and bisexual heroes, artists, and leaders fill the pages of world history. Since 1973, the American Psychiatric Association has told us that same-gender attraction is not a disorder. And I personally know and have experienced over 20 Christian and Jewish denominations that affirm LGBTQ persons. There's simply no justifiable reason to legislate discrimination against LGBT people. No child should grow up being told that their very existence isn't worthy of mention. Don't say gay. Don't say gay suggests that something is wrong with being a person of same-gender attraction or someone who cannot conform to gender binaries. To erase and obliterate gay kids and gay history is to vilify and victimize innocent LGBTQ children. It's an institutional and governmental form of bullying, and our queer children have been bullied enough. And so, I just want us to know that we do all have sacred value, we all have contributions to make, and we all deserve to live with dignity, to be able to love ourselves and others, and to be recognized for who we are. This legislation, which will probably pass and probably be signed into law, but we will keep fighting ever thereafter because that is our way, because the moral arc of the universe bends toward justice. And so it won't stand, but in the meantime, we have to speak up, we have to stand up, and we have to be justice in action. Because what is happening is that once again, cis, male, white, Christian dominance is taking the form of legislation and hiding behind the mask of virtue. There is nothing more tyrannical than tyranny disguised as virtue. There is nothing moral about discrimination, there is nothing good about hate, and there is nothing saintly about tormenting and erasing children. I promise you this legislation will hurt and maybe even cost lives, which is why we can't be silent. Because from this moment on, we are in the business of saving lives. Your presence here tonight may actually save a life. Your voice, your vote, everything you do may actually help someone stay alive. So don't shut up. Stand up, speak up, and help us do all that we can to protect our LGBTQ plus children.
Yeah!
We ask God to bless the children, but it's our job to protect them. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Watkins. Speaking of students, speaking of schools, I want to make sure that everybody who's with a different school gets a chance to shout out tonight. So if you're here from Felix Varela Senior High in Miami, Miami Norland Senior High School, Felix Varela School, by the way, made the protest signs you see floating around here tonight. I think Wilton Manors Elementary has some people here. All right. We're really, really thankful to have all of you here. Our next video snippet is going to come from a very well-known Dade County lesbian poet. She's going to do, her name is Butterfly Vaughan, and we've got a pre-recorded piece from Butterfly. Speaking of pre-recorded pieces, I apologize that we couldn't get the video from State Senator Chevron Jones up and running, but I want to publicly acknowledge Chevron Jones, who is an openly gay state senator, prepared a piece for us tonight, but didn't get up and running. But now let's hear from Butterfly.
I was 5 when I figured out the difference, my emotions. I was never around it. Never heard of it. But I knew my attraction was to someone that looked just like me in gender. That it was at 18 that my mother spoke those words in my ears that I wish that every boy and girl of the LGBTQ community heard. And that was Mama saying, "Mama don't mind, so nobody else matters." Granted, so it be told, children don't care to know unless they know you care. And for the most part, most children actually go to school to be loved because it's missing that home. I reminisce on hearing students asking a particular teacher, can they go home with her? Imagine a house where there is no kind of bill. And the only requirements to reside within that house is to have compassion, understanding, that we are all different, that no one is the same, just like fingerprints. No one has the same fingerprint. I wish my words were more than just words. That I could bring back all of the little boys and the little girls, the teenage boys and the teenage girls that threw in the towel. I wish they knew my acronym for suicide and that it's sanity under the influence of conversation initiated by the devil's echoes. And as much as I weave the 26 letters of the alphabet, I'm also an acronym junkie. Gay also means happy. And that's all anyone, no matter their gender, their sexual orientation, or their religion. All one wants is to be happy. With respect to that of gay, my acronym for gay is genuine, acceptance yearned.
All right.
That is truth spoken right there. Todd and Jeff Delmay were among the first couples to get married when gay marriage was legalized here in the state of Florida. It's been a few years. Many of you fought for that right back then. These are folks who are going to talk to us about what this bill would mean to them as a family now raising their own child. So Todd and Jeff, come on up.
Thank you. Well, hello everyone. My name is Todd Delmay, and this is my husband, Jeff Delmay. And I don't know if he'll allow me to do this, but our son is over there too, so, you know, he is here. And actually tonight we are here for our family and for our son. You see, I had an opportunity a couple weeks ago to Tallahassee to actually speak against this bill. And I told the story about how when Blake was in kindergarten, each of his classmates, they were encouraged to bring in a picture of their family, right? Every kindergarten class does that. It's an exercise in telling the world who you are and finding a safe space that is outside of your own family. But if this law were to pass, that would be illegal. That would impact his life. It would erase his family from the entire conversation. His ability to speak about who he is and what his family looks like when he gets home would be impacted, and we cannot allow that to happen. You know, it was just 11 years ago that we finally won the right to adopt. Trust me, we know, he's 12. Just 8 years ago, we started fighting for, and just 7 years ago, we won the right to marry. In our collective memories, we seem to forget pretty quickly just how recent that was, but trust me, the opposition has a very long memory. This is a concerted effort. This is part of a plan. They have been waiting for this backlash, and it isn't going to stop. We have to stay focused on the moment. We have to stay focused on the attacks. They will keep coming. We need to show up with our voices, not just in these spaces, but by going to Tallahassee, calling our legislators, telling everybody we know that this has to stop. They can fix this, but will they? At the end of our testimony, there were some who said, well, we're going to vote this out of committee, but we hope that you'll fix the language. To me, it seemed like a cop-out. Why not fix it then and there? Because they're hoping maybe they don't have to deal with it. Maybe it'll just keep going through. Our lives and our families are under attack. Not only who we are, but who our children are and their ability to talk about themselves in the world. Please join me. Let's continue to make this fight, and let's get this bill killed. Thank you.
We have both our Dade and Broward Teachers Unions represented here tonight, so please welcome to the microphone Broward Teachers Union President Anna Fusco and teacher at Miami's North Miami. So Anna's parked very far away, and she's walking in. That's great news, actually, because that means there's actually some people here. So let's hear from my buddy, class of 19, we're quite 85. We both graduated from high school together, as did Anna, who's on her way in. We're all North Miami High graduates. But please, from Dade Teachers Union, Don Pesky.
So this year began my 31st year of teaching. And over those 31 years, I've had over 100 students in the LGBTQ community in my classes. And having family members also in the LGBT community, I've seen what it's like for students and kids to have to go through elementary school and then through high school, trying to be themselves, but also trying to hide it and not being able to be who they are. And I've had students come to me first to tell me that they wanted to come out, but they were afraid to come out because their parents wouldn't accept them. And 3 years ago, I had to actually sit in my classroom with one of my students who was crying because his mom was going to take him to the church and have his pastor do an exorcism on him so that he wouldn't be gay anymore. And school is a place for our students to be safe and to feel welcomed. And this bill will kill that, because those students won't have the opportunity to feel safe and feel comfortable about talking to their teachers and about having us as teachers be able to go ahead and interact with our students openly in front of the class. And what's even worse is this bill gives other parents the right to sue teachers for just talking about it. So this is definitely a bill that cannot pass. I really appreciate all your support for being here, and we have to go ahead and make this happen and not have this bill pass. Thank you very much.
And as we wait for Ms. Fusco to get here, a lot of you have been asking, what can you do? What can you do to stop this? Well, the ever-changing world of Tallahassee, these bills work their ways through committee, they get changed, amended, then they go to the House floor, then they go to the Senate floor. As of now, as of today, the House Education Committee has voted 15-5 to pass this bill. 15-5. The numbers are starkly against us. Now it will go to, sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, somebody's shouting, but I can't hear very well. It's a party line vote. Yeah, and we're nonpartisan here as a Safe Schools nonprofit organization, but obviously we're happy to have whomever vote for the bill that we can get. It passed 15-5 at the House. It'll now go through some more revisions. But if you want to do something and you want to join with Safe Schools in our work, go to our social media, our Twitter and our Instagram, at Safe Schools 1991, at Safe Schools 1991. That's us across all platforms. But we've just posted a QR code that you can go and sign up for updated information on this bill as it moves forward. There will be a point, and if my kids are still here, the friends of these kids are here, we're gonna need you to flood some phones at some point when these bills come up for more votes. And to our young people, we're gonna need you to blow up a few social media channels for some elected officials too, so that we can get them and get their attention and hopefully vote this down. Ms. Fusco, are you here? Okay, we'll come back to her. It's a long walk. Another friend of Safe Schools has got a video presentation for us tonight. You know him. He's from the city of Miami originally. He is a blogger at PerezHilton.com. Here's a message from Perez Hilton.
So it makes me just beyond thrilled to know that you are taught the importance of celebrating yourselves and accepting others. And pride is so important because of those things. And also, it gives us the opportunity to learn more about each other and about our past. And that is so important. And the work that Safe Schools South Florida is doing is also very important. So thank you to them.
We also have a video that we couldn't get up here tonight from Jason Rodriguez, who is, for many of you who watched the show Pose. How many people watched the show Pose the last couple of seasons? Jason was on Pose, and we were going back and forth. He just couldn't get it recorded by our deadline for this evening, but watch for Jason on one of our upcoming Safe Schools TV episodes. All right, I'm gonna give Ms. Fusco another try. No? Okay. We'll maybe be able to get to her then by the time we close things out. But I want to bring forward as potentially our last speaker of the night, Nick Harris, a person you all know. Nick is fierce. Nick is out there fighting every day. She's been fighting for years. And please, I want you to put your hands together, jump out of your seat. Nick Harris.
Hey, you all, I gotta pull this down. So I want to say this. I do not want to be here. I don't want to be here, and I don't want you to be here. I'm tired of going to rallies fighting for my basic rights.
Yeah.
So there is a person in this crowd tonight. Her name is Ebony Crisp. You should give her a round of applause too. So I want to say I was recently at a rally fighting for reproductive rights, and Ebony came up and talked about the angry black woman. And I'm going to repeat her words tonight. I am the angry black woman. I'm angry, I'm black, and I'm a woman.
Yes.
And I want to say this to you. I'm mad as hell, and you should be too. It is not only okay to say gay. It is not only okay to say trans. It is not only okay to say LGBTQ. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans. It's okay to be LGBTQ. Earlier, my counterpart and the person who took over, Nathan Broomer, who is doing an incredible job on our behalf, spoke about today is the start of Black History Month. We are gay, we are trans, we are LGBTQ. They are attacking us, and yet still we rise. When I thought about Black History Month, I couldn't help but think about the great black poet who wrote Still We Rise, the great Dr. Maya Angelou. If you've heard me speak, I talk about Dr. Maya Angelou often. Dr. Maya Angelou said, "What will your legacy be?" That a legacy is not monuments and buildings named after you, but the number of lives that you touch. So I ask you all out here, what will your legacy be after tonight? At HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, and if you didn't get a shirt, grab one, because we want you to walk around saying it is okay to be gay, that it is okay to be trans and LGBTQ. So here's what I ask. A lot of times we say, give us your time, your talent, your treasure, or your testimony. A lot of times we say, give us one. I'm here for a different ask. They are attacking us and our kids, so we need all four. It is too late to sit on the sidelines. Our kids' lives are hanging in the balance. So I ask you today, what will your legacy be? Turn around and ask the person standing next to you, what will your legacy be? I mean it. Wait a minute. Turn around and ask the person next to you, what will your legacy be? Because the reality, y'all, is we need your time. You should be going to lobby days to support Equality Florida, right? We need your talent. Whatever you do in your day job, then bring it to this cause. We need your treasure. Some of you have a lot of coin. Give it to the organizations doing this work. You're at the Pride Center, Equality Florida, the Human Rights Campaign, SAVE, SunServe, you name it, give your treasure. And we also need your testimony. There is no testimony without a test. This is our test. But we will talk in the future about our testimony when we stop these archaic laws and we boot out a terrible governor. It is time for them to go. So remember your legacy. Support our kids, and let's fight this very bad bill. Thank you.
Broward Teachers Union President Anna Fusco.
Hello everybody, good evening. Anna Fusco, parent of a Broward Schools graduate, teacher of many decades, and the union president. So I wear many hats in support of everyone. And I know all of you out here today have been watching what's going on in our public school system, not just here in Broward County, but throughout the state of Florida, and unfortunately throughout some of our states in the country. That we have a select group that feels that their livelihood is the normal for everybody's livelihoods. And Anna Fusco, the person, and the Broward Teachers Union needs all of you to stand with us as we stand with you, stand in front of you, and stand behind you, to let that message not be the message. Everybody's individualities, uniqueness, awesomeness is what makes Broward County wonderful, what makes our state of Florida wonderful, what makes our country wonderful.
And to sit here and watch a certain group of people who I truly believe are the minority that seem to be screaming louder because the ones that are doing the right thing are busy doing the right thing and are silent. And by us showing up in these type of movements, whether it's small or big, we are the majority that speak for the good of the human nature. I write an article every single Sunday talking about what's going on in Broward County and our school system to bring awareness to everybody. Whether it's something great, whether there's an attack going on, whether we need help, whether we need to stand together, or we need to do an action. Right now, this bill that's happening in Tallahassee is for everybody to stand up and say stop. If you're used to being silent because you do the right thing and you know that someone else is going to do it, someone else might not be able to do it, or they're just not going to do it, and we have to stop the minority. They seem to be showing up in our school district 3 and 4 at a time and act like they're the majority to promote hate, to promote discrimination, to promote that only they have a right, and that their family life is the only right, and that it's the only normal. And I disagree. As an educator for many decades, our students need us to know that we can listen to them without harm to us or to them. They need to know that they can continue to trust us and have somebody to talk to. We're not indoctrinating our children, our students. We're doing what we've done for decades. Those of you who've gone to school and been in your schools for decades, you know that as an educator, we are the foundation of our public school system. And we need, whether you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, just a taxpayer, you have a right to speak up for the Broward County Public Schools and all school systems in the state of Florida and stand with us so we get this bill smashed. It cannot happen. If you can't make it to Tallahassee, please call every representative, every senator. Write every representative, every senator, not just Broward County. Our people in Broward County have us. It's the other ones that seem to be living in the back doors of somewhere or other. I don't know where they've come from or where they think they're going to bring things, but we have to stand and stand strong. Tell everybody you know, please stop being silent on something that is so important to all of us. We have to do it for our students. We have to do it for their families. Our teachers just want to teach and be there for our students, and we cannot be silenced. There cannot have this bill pass. I ask you guys, that is my action call to you. Please don't be silent anymore. Don't let only those 3 or 4 say that they're the voice of Broward County Public Schools. You guys are the voice of Broward County and all of your friends and family. Thank you.
And thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Let's give another round of applause to the most important people in the room tonight, our teachers and our families and our students. On behalf of Safe Schools South Florida, thank you for being here tonight. Please follow us on social media for updates, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Nice turnout. It was on Facebook Live too. What? It was on Facebook Live. Really silly. Oh, really? Amazing. On the side of their building, black girls sitting down with a rainbow, and then a stack of books that talked about equality and all that kind of. And somebody went and took paint and red paint and black paint and threw black paint all over the books. And now the city is saying
Luna and Lola.
Excuse me, if you need a picture of the QR code, we have it right up here. Just bring your phone up, and you can also get a free picture of me.
How you doing, partner? Good offer. Hello, hello.
Hey there. Oh my God! Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Subscribe to my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel.